you. It's a pleasure to be here today to confirm my appointment as chairman. I wish it had been under more favourable circumstances, but that's the way things are. It's an honour, it's a privilege, and I'd have to say it's also a responsibility that I take very seriously. David's shoes are immense shoes to fill. The level of respect that there is around this club for David and within the football community generally I'm very conscious of, but both myself and the board will work very hard to achieve the best possible outcomes we can, and I look forward to being able to serve the club. I think the stress on David and his family had become such that it was not advisable for David to continue working that hard. So when I got a call from David over the weekend to canvass me for filling his shoes, to some extent it came as a big surprise. To some extent I was not surprised, but what I can say is David's initiatives that are underway at board level in terms of working through the allegations and the investigation that we have in front of us, those initiatives are still very much in train.
David leaves a fantastic legacy for the Essendon Football Club. He came in at a time to really unite the club as chair. David had led from the front through this whole episode, particularly the Asada investigation. He had united everyone, pulled everyone together, supported everyone. We all have just the highest admiration for David and the way he has steered the club, you know, kept everyone informed, was very inclusive. So we're very grateful for the legacy he's left. David made it very clear the reason that he decided to stand down, but he has a very strong relationship with James, and I think that we all saw it on the Friday night when they embraced in the room and the conversations they've had afterwards. So their relationship will be ongoing, and I'm sure it'll continue for many decades to come.
Look at James Hird. Is that a smile of satisfaction that you will just enjoy? He can't believe it.
James is the man not only to make sure that our club performs very well right through to and including the final series this year, but James is the coach and the person to make sure that this club achieves its dreams and its goals and its capabilities over the next sort of 3 to 5 years. So I think James Hird has the total and full support not only of the board but of the club. He certainly has my support.
He's a very strong individual. His focus is the players and the football team and his staff, and around that he's been wonderful.
The main game for us now is preparing the club so that we can ensure that when it comes to sitting down with the AFL to talk through the key issues and findings of the report, that we're well placed to do that. So as much as the members can take comfort, they should know that we are working hard behind the scenes, and we will continue to do so.
We've all worked closely with Paul as Deputy Chair, and the club couldn't be in better hands.
Obviously playing Hawthorn this week, you know, we got a lot of time because it's a night game. You know, there's a lot of time to fill in, so it's a great opportunity to jump into some of the uni work and get some done, and you know, it takes time off the week for me to finish it. I'm doing a Bachelor of Education. It's primary to middle years, so up to year 10. Done a fair bit of work previously to coming to Essendon. I've done 2 years of my degree already, and just basically finishing off now. You know, footy's not the end all of everything, so getting out there and working in schools is great fun, and I get a real good kick out of it, and that's the ultimate goal one day, is probably do something in teaching and even a development role of some sort in sports. Oh, sit down. Soup tongue. You ready to go for a walk? Time to go for a walk? What do you reckon? He's off. Very important to keep a routine, I guess, going into a game. You know, you learn what works best for you throughout your career, and you try to, I guess, practice that and keep it to a set routine. And you know, it's my 4th year at the club now, and I've learned how to control my nerves before a game and go in a bit more relaxed now. For me, it's about filling up time during the day and finding things to do. Over the years, I've become a bit more composed. I guess my first couple of years, I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself, and I'd be thinking about the game the whole day and right up to the lead of the game. And whereas now, I'll go into a game a bit more relaxed. It's not until I start driving to the ground that I start getting a bit anxious, and I suppose that's a good thing too, and getting ready for the game and mentally preparing myself. Boys. I'm often taking for a bit of a run around with a few of the other boys' dogs. So Trav Collier, he's also got another Border Collie, and Dave Myers has got a Labrador. So we often leave them at each other's house for quite a bit, so they know each other pretty well. Yeah, I guess it's just a good way to not think about the game, and also good to get the dogs some exercise. And yeah, it's just a great way of refreshing the mind, I guess, before the game. Mizey and normally Trav that come up, and we got Comsey, and he's pretty much a dog himself. He'll chase the ball around. Got a few guys at the club that have a fair few dogs. I know Hurl's got 2 dogs and a couple of cats. Comsey's got a cat. You know, the guys are animal lovers, I guess, and yeah, it's just good fun to get up here and whack a few balls around for them, and waste some time before the game. Just getting ready for the game now, just packing my bag for the trip in. So I'll start off by, got the foam roller just to roll out when we get there. Obviously a car trip into the game, like to roll out and get the back ready. Got the strap for a bit of stretching before and after the game. It's good for recovery after the game, I guess, after hot colds. Number one, probably important thing, mouth guard. I'm not the prettiest bloke, so I need all the things to help me out. So if I can keep my teeth, that's the best thing. I normally take 3 pairs of boots, one that I'll wear, one for emergencies, and one for just if it's muddy, I'll wear the steel caps, keep me nice and planted on the ground. Yeah, that's about it. There's a fair bit that goes into before a game, and like to have everything in order before a game. To be honest, I thought coming into the season, I wasn't sure how I was going to go. I was a bit anxious, thinking I might be in and out of the team sort of thing. I'd had a good pre-season, hadn't missed much, and then obviously came out and I played really well in the first 2 rounds.
Howland's kicked 3, that's a career high, make it 4!
Every now and then my form sort of tapered off, I guess, and as we've got into the season, my fatigue and everything's growing, and as you do, and the body starts to fall apart a bit. So for me, it's been a bit of an up and down season, but the team's going really well, and that's all you can ask for. And to be a part of that team is, as a player, that's what you want to be a part of. Just the last few weeks, I've had a few little niggles and a few little injuries that have just been holding me back, I guess, and also my fatigue levels have really dropped. I wasn't really hitting my numbers in games, wasn't really running enough, so coaches sort of sat down and we made a plan up, I guess, and that was to get me right and reinvent me, I guess, as a player. And so I had the week off and come back fresh for this week. I was very frustrated. I don't like to miss any footy, so just to be told you're going to be rested, it really makes me angry, I guess.
Every player loves to play every game, but I think one thing you do need to establish early on in your coaching-player relationship is to be able to have the honest conversations, and I think that's what we've got with a lot of our players, is to have that honest conversation. And when it comes to actually telling them the reasons behind why they're not playing, I think it becomes a lot easier, and there's an expectation on the level that you want to get players to perform at. And that can revolve around a whole different range of things in terms of things that we're trying to work with them on. Could be a thing with managing loads, or just that they're just not playing to the behaviours that we want them to play at.
Goody's been great for me since he's come to the club. Really mentored me in a great way, and I sat down with him and sort of worked out what areas I could improve on and how I can, I guess, get my fatigue levels back to the right place.
He was terrific. You know, he went away and did some of the running that we wanted him to do, you know, away from the actual grind of playing the game. And, you know, he has been sore of recent weeks, and it was important to just go away and give him that time to not only refresh physically, because he's that real combative style of player, but also just put a little straight line run into him, and he's done that. There's some stuff in his game still on the outside that we're still looking to improve on with Ben. He understands that. You know, we didn't expect it to be spot on week one back, but, you know, it's a step in the right direction.
Go at it again, well, sort of. Ryder wins it down. Howlett, favoured by the bounce.
Howlett was pretty powerful there because Frankman hit him with everything he had. 27 minutes it's an Essendon goal right now, but they are hanging on.
Right for the siren. Hawthorn win in a canter.
Yeah, no, not quite the result we're after. Hawthorn are a good side, and we knew they were going to be pretty tough to beat. I thought we put in a pretty good effort at times. Obviously, we've got a bit to work on, and we'll learn from that game. Hopefully, we come up against them again, and hopefully, we get to challenge them again. So it's 2 days after a game, and we're just heading out to Diggers Rest, which is where my partner keeps her horse. Today, she's got a bit of a lesson, and just going out to give her a bit of a hand and set up for the day, I suppose. Emma comes out probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 times a week. I get out here when I can after trainings or on my day off. I'll go out and give her a hand and set up whatever she does out there. And she's just started competitions and she has a lot of training, I guess, the same as me, except she has a full day of work before it. So yeah, I guess that's her hobby and that's her love. So she supports me in everything I do, so I like to give back a little bit and support her in what she loves, and that's horse riding and anything I can do to help, which isn't much, but I'll do anything I can, just give her a hand.
He's good, he's really good with animals, full stop, so, and I mean, Ben's from the country, and so he's just really good. He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty and picking up some poo for me and scrubbing some mouldy water troughs and all that kind of stuff, so he's amazing, and Regalo really loves him, and they're a good team. He helps me out a lot, and he's very supportive, and I'm very lucky to have him, really lucky. We've taken Dempsey's kids out for a ride, and they just loved it. He was so good with them, and yeah, I've told Dempsey now he needs to get his daughter a little pony to keep her away from the boys.
Yeah, being a big horse, he needs to eat a lot, and I guess he's almost like an athlete himself, I guess, and he definitely loves his food. It's sort of a bit of an escape from footy. You know, it takes away, you forget about all the pressures of playing AFL footy and, you know, the pressure to perform, and it gives you a bit of a feeling of being back home for me and for Emma, both from the country, WA, and I guess, you know, you miss home a fair bit during the year and your family and your friends, and like we might only get home 4 times a year, so to come out here just makes it feel a bit more like home, and it's, you know, the country where we both grew up, so yeah, it's good to come out here.
Wait for the siren. Hawthorn win in a canter.
It was disappointing, obviously, to lose to Hawthorn. You know, we got beaten convincingly, but we certainly learnt some things out of the game that will, I think, hold us in good stead for the next month. But you know, Collingwood are a team that are, you know, desperate to win, like us. So they're a quality team with some, you know, good midfielders, guys coming back into the team like Ball and Beam since we last played them. So we'll have our challenges. So we'll look forward to that.
The knock down to Watson, could have given it to Davey, but the skipper stuck one through.
There's obviously, you know, Fletch and Winderlick and Watson. These types of players are all a chance to come back this week. Job's he's done everything asked of him, and he'll be tested, you know, in the middle of the week. But you know, we're pretty confident at this stage that we'll have our skipper back, which will be great. We think our midfield's improving its depth as well, and with Job coming back, so it'll be a big battle in there, and our boys will look forward to that.
Rough head, Mitchell on the overlap Guerra.
We had real problems trying to get the ball back off Hawthorn, who were probably one of the best teams, if not the best team with the ball. So certainly defensively, we need to get the ball back quicker. We've got to be better in the contest, and we think that will help us play the game in our half and also move the ball a bit better as well.
Grindelet runs deep, comes back towards the middle. Davey, 12 metres out, kicks the goal.
More so than anything, the players develop a bit of confidence after beating Collingwood on Anzac Day, because I think they had the wood on us up until then, and the game was pretty tight for 3 quarters, and we were able to sort of run away with it at the end. So there's no doubt that I think when a team's had an advantage over you and you get one back on them, you want to keep that going. So we'll be pretty determined, obviously, to play well like we did at Anzac Day, and hopefully get 2 in a row against a quality team.
Where is Cloak and Carlisle? Do they get involved? Oh, how good is that?
Dropped it on his head.
I mean, they had a good battle last time, Jake Carlisle and Travis Cloak. So, I think playing on Travis Cloak, you're going to be involved in a lot of contests. So I think Jake will look forward to that, and they do put a lot of ball through him. And I guess they've had a bit of a different look with Ben Reid down there as well. So we'll have our challenges. It'll be great to see Jake, respond. Obviously, he got beaten by Franklin on the weekend, and that's life as a key defender. You've got to be able to bounce back quickly, and he'll be looking to do that against Cloak this week. We have had 2 6-day breaks, so a 9-day break enables us to get some real quality training, get back on track, work on the things that we didn't do well in last week's game, and you don't really get to train a lot with 6-day breaks. So that 9-day break gives us a lot of time to prepare for Collingwood. So certainly be no excuses from our end.
I actually sort of remember that one. I suppose it is because it is unique, but I remember at the time sort of just leaning against the post, and it's easy to say now, but I sort of did think of giving me a bit of a nudge just to see if I can sort of shake the post, so if the ball was in. And I remember the other team were going to the goal umpire saying, he's shaking the post, rah rah rah. So it's something you look back on, but I think I copped a $1,000 fine, or I copped a fine for it. So it was something that you look back on as something pretty stupid, but there's some things I did that were stupid, and that was one of them.
Good on you guys, back for another edition of Dyson's Diary. Down here at Debney Park, just ran a bit of a clinic with a few of the guys. So it's with the Andrew Welsh Auskick Centre. So the guys are fantastic today. How'd you go? You have a good time? Yeah, beauty. Get nice and enthused they are. So, the kids are great, and ran a bit of a skills session and played a bit of the game at the end. So it's great to see them getting out and about and having a good time. So obviously a bit of a disappointing loss on Friday night against Hawthorn, but really looking forward to bouncing back this week against Collingwood. Another massive game for the club, and everyone's really looking forward to it. So we'll put the Hawthorn game in the past, and then we'll move on to Collingwood and hopefully come out with a win. So good on you guys. See you next week.
G'day guys, Matt Egan here. I'm the forward line coach for the Essendon Footy Club, and I have Justin. How are you, mate?
Good, mate.
What does Essendon mean to you, and I suppose your family?
It's my religion. It's a passion. It's my wife knows when the footy season starts. She puts the games in the calendar, knows I'm not available.
Yeah.
Love to watch them. Win, lose or draw, I've never left until the last siren sound, and it's a good feeling.
Thanks to Kia, loyal fans at the Essendon Footy Club receive huge savings on all cars for anyone who has been a member for longer than a year. Go to kiamemberoffers.com.au for great savings on the Sorrento of up to $3,100 and further savings on all Kia cars.
So today, obviously, all playing tomorrow, so we'll just do half and half. So we'll do half up in the legs and then half down, lying down, just moving the energy through the body.
So a couple of times a week, Kane Johnson, the former Richmond captain, comes in and teaches us a form of meditation called Qigong. It's just a simple form of meditation where it's just teaching you to still your mind.
Basically, it's like an ancient Chinese healing energy meditation. It's used for a lot of different practices, and it has been for a lot of years, but as an athlete, I've always been physical and never had the balance of being able to centre my energy and centre myself to get clear and focused on what I'm doing. So basically the whole session will be about just getting your focus, going inside your body, so it'll all be closed eyes. So basically letting go of the outside world and just bringing all the attention awareness inside the body and getting connected with your energy. I was first exposed to it when I finished my football career 4 years ago. I went to China and trained with the Shaolin monks, just for a different experience. Instead of just going away on a normal trip, I just wanted to do something completely different. And I'd never seen Qigong before. And they use, at the balance of their days, in the mornings, the Tai Chi is the focus part, and at the end of the day is the Qigong. So they balance out their training days with a real clear energy focusing meditation. So I say we're moving the hands, like in circles like this, 100% focus on your hands. Now that might sound easy, but when you actually get into it, it's really hard to keep your focus on the one thing. Now why we're doing that is because when it comes to game day or in life, if you can keep your focus on what you're doing and not worry about what's just happened and what's going to happen, then obviously you're going to get better results of what you're partaking in.
With AFL being such a stressful environment and there's a lot of external pressures, it's good to do, and just before the game just to relax and make sure in the right mindset to play the game.
Did anyone start to get in touch and feel their energy today? Did you feel it? Yeah, coming through the body?
I never thought I'd be into the meditation, but a couple of guys at the club suggested it, and a few guys do it now regularly, and I feel like I'd like to give it a go. So look, it might help in the end of the day, but we'll just wait and see.
I've played football before, and I know that anything outside of what we do is a little bit like, well, I don't know about that, but I suppose because I played football before, they were sort of a little bit more receptive and open to it. Because once you actually get the feeling of that energy, then you can actually keep the focus inside. You can actually start to really feel it, and when you feel it, then you can not be distracted by the outside noises as much. In football, it doesn't matter what's going on, there's always stresses involved. So the number one thing is getting clear and focused on the job at hand and being in the moment. So when I teach Qigong, it's about actually getting clear and in the moment of what you're doing. So each exercise we're participating in, getting really focused on that particular thing we're doing and following that thing. So that if you can actually follow it in Qigong, then hopefully out in game day they can actually get clear and in the moment game day, not be worried about what's just happened or what's going to happen, but be 100% in that moment of what they're doing.
One thing that most people don't know about me is I like to get down to the beach and do a bit of surfing, so that's what I try and do in most of my spare time.
Young Will Hams gets his opportunity, earned his spot even though he's only 18 years of age. And he's got it already, there we go with his first good connection.
The most annoying teammate would have to be Nick Comer. He's a pretty up and about kind of guy and you can't get a break when you're around him, so I'd have to stay in. The best thing about playing for the Bombers is obviously the crowd. You get massive turnouts to the game. We've only playing 2 games and the turnouts that we've had is just, unbelievable. My best mate at the club would have to be Marty Gleeson. We live together and share a pretty close relationship since the year's gone on. Don't forget to visit the Essendon website to take part in the fan segment for your chance to win an Antler prize pack.
This has been a Fox Footy production for Fox Sports.